topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Ask the Expert Show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV, where we bring you educational information from experts on such topics as legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Now sit back and listen to our experts in community association law, estate planning law, tax relief, Medicare, public insurance adjusters, neuropathy treatment, business brokers, and personal injury law, along with many other topics. Now here's your host for the last 17 years, Steve O.
Good afternoon. Welcome to our first MAGA show. This is the Ask the Expert show. We do shows Monday through Friday. We've been doing this for the last 17 years. I am your host, Steve O. I had a Miami morning talk show for about 6 years. It was one of the top shows. Well, by the numbers, we were the top show, morning drive for Miami, and I just got tired of it. Got tired of the BS. You know, the people just spewing just nonsense. And I got tired of it, and I just walked away from it. Ask the Experts has been going on for 17 years, and we do shows all over the country. What's unusual about today's show, if you're watching on TikTok, is we are on 70 platforms, including YouTube. We're live on YouTube right now. We're live on W4CY. You can go to www.w4cy.com. You can listen and watch the show from there. We are on so many platforms. We've just added TikTok. And I got some rules that I want to go over. I go into a lot of lives. There's a lot of good people who know political news. A lot of them even more than I do. And I learn a lot. I don't go to Fox News for my information. I've already started seeing people say, oh, here's a guy who gets all of his news from Fox. I don't even watch Fox. Once in a while, I'll watch Jesse or Laura Ingraham. But I do my research, and I do listen to a lot of these providers on here. So on Monday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, we are going to be launching, like we are tonight, our MAGA Political Show, debate talk show. The only thing is I'm not going to debate anybody. There's plenty of other people out there who will debate you. And the other thing is, we don't ask for gifts at all. Won't be asking for any gifts, which is probably unheard of. I would like for you to share this. I would like for you to like it, but we're not interested in any gifts. Keep your money. We're going to be we're going to be all over the place when it comes to what's going on. And I'm going to share my feelings. You're more than welcome to type in on the chat line any questions you might have. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can do the same. We're going to get started. I wanted to start tonight. I think one of the greatest things that has happened today is there's a lady, 73 years old. Her name is Tina Peters. 606 days ago, she was put into prison. Did she kill anybody? No. Did she get busted for drugs? No. Was she driving drunk? No. What she did is She tried to bring out the truth on our elections. She had a position in Colorado, and these are my views, but it's coming out today, the truth, because she's walking out of prison today. She was going to be in prison for 8 years. You know, we have rights as American citizens. And the state of Colorado took those rights away from her. She was even put into solitary. A 73-year-old helpless woman was put into solitary because they didn't like her views. And the state of Colorado should be ashamed of themselves for what they did to this woman. We have an assistant attorney general that is going to be going after the state of Colorado because Tina Peters' rights were taken away from her. You know, we have the right to speak what we want. And she was trying to bring to people's attention about the fraud that was going on. It's all going to be coming out. And there's going to be a lot of people with egg on their face when all this truth comes out. And I was so happy to see her come out of prison today. Again, her name is Tina Peters. Look her up today. How did she get out so early? She was supposed to go for 8 years. President Trump has been doing everything he can to get her out of prison. She didn't belong there. And not only did she not belong there, but the way she was treated when she was in prison there. Again, if you've got a question, a comment, please put it in our chat line, whether you're on YouTube or if you're on TikTok. And these are some of the things that we're going to be bringing out because I guess when she first was indicted, I was shocked because she had a great reputation as a local administrator. And what the state of Colorado did to her, and I'm going to give some credit to the governor of Colorado. Now, I don't know if it was because of all the pressure that was put on him, but he had a hand in getting Tina out. The problem was it wasn't a federal offense. Colorado made sure it was a state offense. So there wasn't much President Trump could do to try to get her out of prison. But she's out now. She has a lot of health issues. But can you imagine a 73-year-old woman being stuck in solitary? And that's the first problem. The second problem is knowing she did nothing to deserve that kind of treatment. And there was people who did not like her, which I can't imagine somebody not liking Tina Peters. And she had people who roughed her up in prison, but she was in prison. And again, I'm so thankful to the Lord that there were so many great people behind her that got her out of prison. Now, she is still on probation. So there's still places she can't go, things that she can't say, but she's really got great attorneys who are going to get her out of. She should not be on probation. And I'm hoping to have her on the show someday. One of the things about having a morning drive show in a large city like Miami, you get you become friends with a lot of high-profile people in the know, and people who I've gained their trust, let's say. And because I would never do a gotcha question, but if there was things that I didn't believe in or I thought were wrong, I did bring it out. But I didn't attack them the way you see a lot of people today being attacked. You know, speaking of attacked, and again, we're on our TikTok group. Please, if you've got a question, send us a question. We're talking about different things going on in politics today. This is a conservative talk show. And it's amazing. The first time I started doing a conservative talk show in Miami, I cannot tell you how many friends that I lost. And I got to tell you, I don't know if this is a good comparison. I was born and raised Jewish, and I didn't convert, but I actually, about 15 years ago, became a believer, found the Lord, and changed my life. One of the things, I don't push my beliefs on anybody when it comes to religion, but I lost some of my Jewish friends when that happened. But when I started doing my conservative talk show in Miami, I lost 90% of my friends. And I'm going to give you an example because it just happened today. I don't know how many people know, but President Trump has come out with the Trump Fund. And if you were born, I think it was 2024 up to 2026, I think if you were born then, they are putting $1,000 in your child's account. It's actually going to be more because what's happening, Dell Computers came in and put $10 million into that account. There's a lot of major companies that are going to be feeding that account. Now, you cannot touch the money until you turn 18. But finally, our government is going to teach people about savings because they sure don't do it in elementary school or junior high or high school. And probably for that matter, even college. So it's funny. We're already starting to get the nasty messages already. Didn't take them long, did it? Doesn't bother me, you know. But today, I told my sister about it. And my sister is a staunch Democrat. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if Trump came out with a cure for cancer today, she would have something negative to say. And there's a lot of liberals out there like that. But I told her about this account, and I thought she would really be excited about it. She doesn't really listen to the news. She goes by a lot of times what her friends say. And I thought for sure she would be excited that here's her grandchild getting $1,000 from the Trump account. And just because it had Trump's name on it, I don't know if she's going to take it. You know, you have to sign up for it. It doesn't automatically appear. But President Trump has done so many great things, so many great things. And there's so many people that all they look at is the negative. And it's so sad. I'm on a lot of these lives on TikTok, and you hear the hatred that comes out. And it's either blamed or Trump or Israel. There was a big, huge parade in New York City yesterday. They have it every year. And every year, the mayor attends. I think that for the last 40 years, it's a huge event, New York City. You're going to learn on the show, I call Mayor Madummy, because he's a dummy. Do you know his anti-Semitism, his hate? Now, this was not Israel putting this on. This was the Jewish people of New York. He did not attend. What a slap in the Jewish people's faces not to attend this huge event. And this is not just New York City. Look what's going on in New Jersey. It's amazing. The left, all they can do is find out negatives. So the new thing was ICE's facility in New Jersey, that the conditions were horrible there. First of all, if you're in jail, what do you want, like a waterbed, or you want chandeliers? There's nothing great about jail. And here they are complaining about how people are being treated. And the number one complaint is food. I am so glad that the head of ICE and Homeland Security showed us a menu. I mean, every day they have a menu to actually choose from. Can you imagine a prison that gives you a menu to choose from? And I guess I got to do this because, some people say I don't know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of people who've been to jail. I'm one of them. I was there for 6 days. And it was child support. I never got a menu. I got 3 meals a day. I didn't get a menu to choose from. Was the food horrible? Oh, it was horrible, terrible. Most of the time I didn't even eat. It was so bad. And here's the left complaining. In fact, there was a senator who went down there. Here's with all the commotion. And I always tell people, listen, don't go down there. There's some crackpots down there. Stay away from it down there. The only time I've ever gone down there is when I was doing a news story. And I was interviewing people who went down there. And it was horrible. The names I was called, the treatment that I got down there. But I wanted to share that with my audience. And boy, did they get an earful. So the reason why I'm telling you is I didn't get a menu. I had to eat what was given to me. And then you think, well, yeah, maybe they have a menu, but look at the crappy food. I got to tell you, I mean, for lunch, they had burritos, they had a salad. It was probably one of the most nutritional meals. And the left is over there, and my God, it got so bad that the governor of New Jersey, who's a staunch leftist, had to call out the state police. It got so bad. And all they're doing is a lot of those people, all they want are clicks. They got their phone out there. They want to get clicks for their whether it's their podcast or whatever. And it's just lies. It's downright lie. And then, because I've been watching it, I mean, they've got live coverage of it. Listen, we all say words maybe we wish we hadn't said. You know, there's 4-letter words out there. I'm pretty sure I can use them on podcasts, but I'm so used to terrestrial radio, I just don't do it. I don't use any of the 7 words you're not supposed to use on radio. But every other, and women, every other word out of their mouth was F this and S this and F that. And there was even a guy who they videoed who would tell ICE, he said, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill your family. So great. I think one of the great reporters out there who would stick his neck and go out there. I got to tell you, he's got kahunas, and he filmed this, and the FBI will tell you, they got the clearest picture of this guy. Listen, once they have your picture, they're going to find you. I don't know how they do it. I don't ask questions. He was arrested today. You can't just go to an ICE officer and tell him you're going to kill him. You're going to murder him. The guy went to court this afternoon. Turkish man. That the IRC put him up to this was going to, and they keep saying where it's going to assassinate President Trump's daughter, Ivanka. No, it came out he was going to assassinate the entire family. And they caught him. And Iran is behind all this. And it's so sad. You know, I don't care what you think of President Trump. I mean, you know, he's a New Yorker, and he's brash. I will definitely say that. But this man has been put through not one, but 4 or 5 attempted assassinations. They brought him to court to judges that didn't care about the law. They just wanted to put Trump in prison. Now, we're finding out now, especially if, and listen, I warned you I was going to be all over the place. But we found out today that Eugene Carroll, the one that supposedly you all on the left say that President Trump raped, they asked her a lot of questions that the judge allowed in. And one of the questions that they asked was, has anybody paid you any money to come here to testify? And she said no. Remember, she's under oath. Well, we found out today that was not true. We even know who gave her the money and how much she got. So she lied under oath. And it was amazing everybody thinks that these were criminal charges against President Trump. They weren't criminal. If it were criminal, he would be going to jail. He'd be going to prison. So the story's out there. There's so many lies, and hopefully my show will present those lies to you. I'm not going to debate anybody. Like I said, if you got a question, send us a question. If you're going to say things like Trump is a pedophile, which is one of your favorite things you say, bring the receipts up. Show me, prove it to me. To this day, no one's ever done that. No one has ever done that, including the women who've come forward who were there with Epstein. You know, the show went by really fast, and it's going to go, we're going to start doing from 25 to 50 minutes. That's going to do it for me today. Just gives you a little taste of what we're going to be doing on this show. We have a show tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock Eastern time. And we have a really neat show at 10:25 Eastern time tomorrow, talking about if you have a business that you want to sell, we're going to be talking about selling your business. That's going to do it for us today. We'll be back again with you tomorrow with more Ask the Experts.
Thanks for tuning in today to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. Tune in next week and every week to hear more from our experts on personal injury, insurance, air condition repairs, estate planning, Medicare, and many other topics in the areas of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. See you next week.